Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. President Ronald Reagan uttered these words in June of 1987. It was a memorable moment in history. These 5 words symbolically ended the Cold War and brought down the divisive Berlin Wall. When I first read this simple sentence in my 10th grade world history class, it struck me forcefully. I was blessed to grow up in a household where I never went to bed without being lulled to sleep by the power of words. Every night I was enchanted with the new tale of knights, princesses, and dragons. I always preferred stories with strong female characters. Those heroines were my early role models. From them, I learned to admire bravery, determination, and strength. I soon discovered that similar to Jo March from Little Women, I like good, strong words that mean something. As I grew up, I was encouraged to spend time with words. One of my biggest role models was my elementary school librarian, Mrs. Liu. She noticed my love for words and fed it. I went from book to book, eagerly feasting upon all of the words I could find. With the tender care of a dutiful gardener, Mrs. Liu cultivated my love for language till it overgrew its planter's pot. Reading the words of others was no longer enough. I began experimenting with writing in grade school. I wrote and illustrated books to read to my 4 younger sisters, and my mother always treated those books like gold. Looking back, the stories penned were simple and foolish, but they were vital initial experiences with utilizing the power of words through writing. In 4th grade, I discovered poetry and unlocked the raw power of words. Poetry became an outlet of expression. It became a trusted confidant when I felt that no one could understand, yet it wholly understood the fragmented whisperings of my teenage heart. As I immersed myself in poetry, poet Emily Dickinson became another one of my heroines. Her wisdom was this: I know nothing in the world that has as much power as a word. Entering junior high, I soon discovered that the power Emily Dickinson spoke about wasn't always used for good. Cruel words over text, crude words written on bathroom walls, catty remarks made in the halls. For a time, contentious words threatened to overwhelm me. Immersed in a world of word misuse, I faced a formidable choice. I could either fall in line with those around me and choose to use my words for bad, or I could choose to use my words for good. I joined the National Academic League and began public speaking. This outlet allowed me to utilize my talent with language for good. I became a captain on the team and taught other team members the importance of careful word choice. During junior high, I also learned that my self-worth wasn't based on the words of others. Their words had as much effect on me as I let them have. We have all heard the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. This saying is sadly naive and discounts the power of words. The lessons I learned in junior high emphasize the importance of surrounding yourself with positive reinforcement. I discovered how a string of words could change someone's day. There have been many times when a simple phrase of encouragement has changed the course of my week. On a grander scale, words have changed the course of history. American historian Thomas Kidd declared, apt, passionate words delivered at the right moment sometimes change the course of history. While looking at how words have changed the course of history could prove informative, it is my belief that looking at how words have changed our lives would prove to be a more useful allocation of time. Let's start by looking at how one word has shaped America's future. On the Declaration of Independence, on an early draft, there is a word that is blurred, where Thomas Jefferson apparently changed his mind. Historians have puzzled over it for years. Through the use of advanced light technology, scientists discovered that the blurred word is subjects, but in a flash of inspiration, while the ink was still wet, Thomas Jefferson wiped it and wrote citizens instead. According to historians, this word change, this moment in time, redefined American colonists. In 1789, David Ramsay, one of the first historians of the American Revolution, wrote, "The principle of government being changed by the Revolution, the political character of the people was also changed from subjects to citizens. The difference is immense. Subjects means one who is under the power of another, but a citizen is a unit of a mass of free people who collectively possess sovereignty. Subjects look up to a master, but citizens are so far equal that none have hereditary rights superior to others. This simple word change by Thomas Jefferson affects the way we think today. We do not see ourselves as subjects to our government. The government is not our master. We are free citizens with rights. And that is how changing a simple word has revolutionized our worlds. The Declaration of Independence also contains a well-known phrase that has changed the course of history and shaped the way I think. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These words hold a promise of equality. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. recited these words in his famous I Have a Dream speech. A speech that got the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act passed, a speech that changed the course of history. The promise in Thomas Jefferson's words is still unfolding, but his dream of equality resonates in my heart today. The United States has been at war with Iraq for almost my entire lifetime. Author Ben Gailey wrote, "You can't hammer in a nail with words. No, but you can start a war with them." President George W. Bush had only 3 minutes left to decide whether or not to start a war on Iraq with an initial attack on senior Iraqi leaders. After being briefed by his war council, the United States entered the war with Iraq due to 2 simple words. "Let's go," President Bush said. These 2 words have changed all of our lives. They held enough power to start what may be a never-ending conflict in the Middle East. Not all of us are in prestigious positions where we can use our words to change the course of history, but we all are in positions where we can use our words to change our communities. There are so many people who seemingly only know how to use negative words. Girls seem to be especially catty. There's a reason why the movie Mean Girls is such a hit. It's so relatable to every girl. Adriana Carrig found Mean Girls to be especially prevalent in her college experience. Instead of joining the fray, she decided to rise above it and use words to change her environment. "I created a bracelet to be passed around my college sorority," Carrig said. "The girls were so obsessed with the idea of sharing kindness that the idea really took off." Adriana started the Little Words Project to remind women to be kind to themselves and each other. The idea is that the person wears the bracelet for as long as she needs that inspiration and then passes it on to someone else. This project is an inspiration to me of how we can use words to change our communities. Imagine being given a beautiful bracelet that encouraged you and uplifted you through a single word. Today, we live in a world where words are our greatest weapon. Advanced technology has given people the power to tear someone apart in an instant. A mere sentence can destroy a reputation. Careless words from the past come back to haunt people in power. Comprehending the weighty worth of words has never been more essential. In his journals published in the American Notebooks, Nathaniel Hawthorne gives valuable insight. Words, so innocent and powerless as they are, as standing in a dictionary, how potent for good and evil they become in the hands of one who knows how to combine them. I believe that words have the power to change lives. I have seen a positive phrase change the countenance of a person. I have felt the crushing blow of a peer's negative words. As I choose my words, I choose them carefully, knowing the impact they can have. Careful word choices influence every facet of my life. Currently, our communities are at odds. Unity appears to be a fragmented dream from the past. It seems that everywhere we turn, there is another divisive Berlin Wall built by negative words. In the words of President Ronald Reagan, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." Words may build the divisive walls, but they are also the only way to tear them down. The wounds in our society can only be healed by the power of words. If we each strive to understand the impact a word can have, we can revolutionize the world. Thank you.